Welcome to this video, where we will explore one of the most curious and complex social phenomena of today. Why are there so many women in certain countries who are unable to find a partner? In some places in the world, the number of women greatly exceeds that of men, creating a kind of gender gap that challenges an entire society. Why does this happen? Are we just talking about numbers and statistics, or is there something deeper behind this reality? Join me to discover the surprising causes of this imbalance. If you have ever wondered how migration, cultural changes, or even expectations of a partner can influence the love life of an entire country, this video is for you. Countries with the greatest gender imbalance. Let's start our journey with a list of countries where the disparity between women and men is most evident. We begin in Northern Europe, where we find some truly surprising cases. Lithuania, where many women end up single or look outside their country for alternatives to find someone compatible but with their own cultural nuances. Women tend to value education and professional development, achieving high levels of academic qualifications. However, many men also choose to emigrate or pursue careers in traditional sectors, which creates a cultural and interest gap. In cities, where educational and professional opportunities are more abundant, women tend to be more career-oriented and take time to find a partner with whom they can establish a deep and lasting connection. This situation also contributes to many Lithuanian women exploring opportunities abroad. Latvia. In charming little Latvia, the number of women far outnumbers men. The reasons are several: male emigration in search of work, coupled with a significant difference in life expectancy. The result? Many educated and successful women face difficulties in finding a stable partner. The female population significantly outnumbers the male population, especially in urban areas. This imbalance is due to male emigration, motivated by the search for better job opportunities outside the country. Young men often move to the UK and Germany, where they find more attractive working conditions. This leaves Latvia with a high number of single women. Furthermore, the difference in life expectancy between men and women intensifies this disparity, as men tend to live shorter lives. Estonia. In Estonia, the dynamics are similar. With a population where women tend to achieve a high level of education and many men emigrate or seek military careers, the setting is ripe for a significant gap in love life. The imbalance is especially noticeable between highly educated women and men in specific sectors, such as the armed forces. Estonian society highly values independence and self-sufficiency, leading many women to seek partners with whom they can share interests and ideals. However, the emigration of Estonian men to other European countries and the difficulties in combining interests, especially in the professional field, mean that these women find few men who meet their expectations. In Estonia, women highly value balance and stability in their relationships, which has become a particular challenge in this context. Russia. An interesting case is Russia, where the gender gap is becoming more marked with age. In cities such as Moscow and St. Petersburg, many women have to deal with a considerably lower male life expectancy and emigration that exacerbates this reality. Russian women tend to have high expectations regarding education and professional life, while men face social and economic pressures that lead them to emigrate or prioritize work over personal life. In addition, Russia has one of the most notable differences in life expectancy between men and women, with a gap of around 10 years. This not only creates an imbalance at a social level, but also increases competition between women for stable relationships in the country. Imbalances in Asia. Let's now jump to Asia, where we find different but equally curious cases. Japan. In Japan, a unique phenomenon is being observed. Many young women, despite wanting to start a family, are faced with an increasing number of men who avoid serious relationships. Social pressure to work long hours and the importance of professional success have led many men to postpone or avoid serious relationships. At the same time, many Japanese women desire a stable partner, but are faced with the reality that finding a work-life balance is difficult. Japan also has a culture where traditional relationships are in transformation, which has led many men to prefer less committed relationships, while women seek stability. This phenomenon has been widely discussed in Japan as a reflection of social and gender changes in the country. Hong Kong. In Hong Kong, competition for a male partner is fierce. Many successful and highly educated women here find few available men. Many women in Hong Kong are highly educated and career-focused, which has raised their standards for partners. However, local men often seek relationships with women from mainland China, where traditional values and expectations are different. This mismatch of priorities and expectations creates a sort of cultural gap that complicates the love life of many women in Hong Kong. In addition, the high cost of living in this region is a factor in partner decisions, as many people prefer to wait before making a commitment. If you found this interesting, please give it a like and comment on what surprises you the most. We want to know what you think about this phenomenon and whether you ever imagined that these imbalances existed. Latin America and the cultural factor. In Brazil, particularly in the big cities, the number of single women has increased due to factors such as female independence and focus on careers. The emigration of men also influences this phenomenon, creating a society where many women have to face the challenges of finding a partner. Spain. In southern Europe, Spain is a different case. Here, many men remain single for longer periods of time or prefer to stay at home with their parents well into adulthood or because of problems finding a stable job. This creates a shortage of men available for serious relationships, which mainly affects women in the big cities, and there is a tendency towards no commitment. In Denmark, although the country has a relatively stable demographic balance, rural areas are a particular case. In regions such as Svaneke, male migration to cities has left a greater number of single women in remote areas. Strategies to reverse the phenomenon and final conclusions. In some countries, government and society have implemented strategies to address this phenomenon. For example, dating festivals in Latvia and Lithuania. In some Baltic countries, events have emerged aimed at connecting single men and women. These festivals not only aim to facilitate romantic encounters, but also to foster greater social cohesion. Japan and its focus on work-life balance. In Japan, some companies have begun to implement policies to facilitate work-life balance. In this way, they seek to ensure that both men and women can opt for stable relationships without compromising their professional lives. Immigration and broadening horizons. Nowadays, many women from these countries are keen to broaden their horizons by traveling to other places or exploring intercultural relationships. This not only allows for international connections, but also breaks stereotypes and opens the door to new opportunities. Impact on society and modern trends. This phenomenon has more than one angle of analysis. It is not just a question of numbers, it is also about how social changes are affecting expectations of relationships in different parts of the world. Female independence and high standards. In many of these societies, female empowerment has led to many women having higher standards for their partners and more ostentatious goals. They now seek relationships where there is both emotional and professional parity, which can sometimes make finding a partner difficult. Evolving expectations of masculinity. Another interesting point is the impact of gender expectations. In some of these countries, expectations about the male role have not evolved at the same pace as women's independence, creating a cultural disconnect between the two genders. While these women face challenges in finding a partner in their own societies, each of these countries has festivals and traditions that represent local identity and culture, offering unique experiences to those who visit them. In addition to the complexity of love life, these celebrations are a showcase of the values and history of each place, and reflect how each society finds unity in its traditions. If you ever have the opportunity to visit these countries, in addition to discovering more about their social reality, you will be able to enjoy some of their most representative festivals. In Latvia, the Latvian Song and Dance Festival is a unique event held every 5 years. This festival is listed as Intangible Cultural Heritage of Humanity by UNESCO and brings together thousands of choirs and dancers to present an amazing display of Latvian culture. For several days, Latvians gather in the capital, Riga, and other cities to revive their musical traditions and share their national identity. It is a moment of great pride for Latvians, as singing and dancing together strengthens community ties in a country historically marked by conflict and demographic change. This event is particularly special for Latvian women, many of whom actively participate in the singing performances, helping to keep the tradition alive. In Lithuania, the Midsummer Festival, Jonins, celebrated during the summer solstice, offers an experience of magic and mysticism. The shortest night of the year becomes a special occasion where Lithuanians of all ages gather to light bonfires, dance, and jump over the flames, a ritual believed to bring good luck. During Jonans, participants search for the fern flower, which, according to tradition, grants prosperity to whoever finds it. This festival highlights the value of ancient Baltic beliefs and how they have survived into modern society. For many Lithuanian women, this event is an occasion to celebrate their identity and stay connected to their roots in a rapidly changing world. In Hong Kong, the Dragon Boat Festival is one of the most vibrant and eagerly awaited celebrations of the year. During this festival, thousands of spectators gather in Victoria Bay and other points of the territory to watch races of boats decorated with dragon heads and tails. Rowing teams train for months to compete and win the admiration of spectators. In addition, during the festival, the famous zongzi, rice tamales wrapped in bamboo leaves, are prepared. For Hong Kong women, who in many cases have opted for professional careers, this festival is an opportunity to unwind and participate in a tradition that unites the community. In Estonia, the Viljandi Music Festival is one of the most prominent events, celebrating folk music from Estonia and other cultures. This festival attracts tourists and locals interested in music and the value of Estonian identity. For many Estonian women, attending this festival is a way to connect with their traditions, especially in a context where many face challenges in their personal relationships due to male emigration. Music, in this case, acts as a reminder of Estonian history and the resilience of its people. In Russia, Maslenitsa marks the end of winter and the arrival of spring, and is one of the oldest festivals in Slavic tradition. During this celebration, also known as Pancake Week, Russian cities are filled with activities, fairs, traditional games, and, above all, lots of food. One of the most important elements of Maslenitsa is blinis, which represent the sun and are prepared in large quantities to share among family and friends. Bonfires also play a leading role, as the festival concludes with the burning of a straw figure that symbolizes winter. In Brazil, the world-famous carnival in Rio de Janeiro is an explosion of color, music, and joy that attracts tourists from around the world. During this festivity, Rio's samba schools parade through the Sambadrome, displaying elaborate costumes and choreography that are the result of months of preparation. For Brazilian women, Carnival is a celebration of their identity, and many participate in the parades, either as part of the samba schools or simply enjoying the music and dance in the streets. In Spain, Las Fallas and Valencia represent one of the most impressive and unique festivals. Every March, the streets of Valencia are filled with monumental cardboard and wood sculptures, known as fallas, which are burned in a grand ceremony at the end of the festival. These sculptures, which often reflect humorous or critical themes, are the result of a year of work by the fallas artists. For many Valencian women, this festival is a mix of art, culture, and tradition. In Japan, hanami, or cherry blossom viewing, is a spring tradition that brings together friends and families in parks and gardens across the country. During this event, Japanese people have picnics under cherry trees in full bloom, sharing food, drink, and conversation in an atmosphere of peace and beauty. The cherry blossom, or sakura, symbolizes the fragility of life and the importance of enjoying the present. In Denmark, J-dag marks the start of the Christmas beer season, an occasion much anticipated by the Danes. Every first Friday in November, Denmark's famous Christmas beer is distributed in bars and restaurants across the country, and the celebration becomes a true national holiday. Danes gather to taste this special drink in an atmosphere of joy and camaraderie. Each of these festivals reflects the character and history of their respective countries, and it is during these moments of celebration that social barriers dissolve, allowing people to connect in an authentic and profound way. So, if you have the opportunity to visit any of these places, be sure to enjoy not only their landscapes and people, but also these traditions that give them identity and meaning.